You know this brand, not because of its exciting cars. You know it because its cars are some of the best value for money. So how can one not be excited when they're showing up with a new proposal? Bigger and bolder than anything they've done before. But who is it for? Well, for everyone, of course.
A hatchback, a sedan or an estate are different variants of the same vehicle. This one looks like a Duster estate, but Dacia has decided not to call it like that. They call it instead Bigster.
Well, except for the width, everything has grown on the Bigster compared to the Duster. 5 cm wheelbase, 6 cm height and 23 cm length.
It is a bigger car, a bigger Duster.
And this is where some people got disappointed. They were expecting something more than a stretched out Duster. Something not just bigger, but having more features and being more refined. So were they right, or simply failed to look past the surface? I can already tell you, the Bigster comes with a couple of exclusive features, such as 19-inch alloy wheels, a panoramic sunroof, electrically operated tailgate, and dual-zone climate controls, plus some more, which I will touch a bit later.
And the most exclusive feature you cannot even have as option on the Duster is the bigger boot. This one doesn't have the electric operated tailgate.
Trunk space has grown from 474 liters to 667 compared to the Duster. That's if you consider the mild hybrid front-wheel drive version, which is the most spacious. There's also a retractable parcel shelf, which you can remove in case needed.
I still have to check if this gets its own place after you remove it, but once you fold down the back seats, you get a flat floor, no loading lip, and a good amount of space. There's hooks all around. 2 here, 2 on the left side, 12-volt socket, and what else? Floor mat, rubber underneath, then, a divider, and you get a spare tire. If it wasn't for the spare tire, I think this would slide down, and you would have something to use. But I guess it's better to have a spare tire, Another good thing, you get hooks for the seat belts. And there's another space here. I'm not sure if it's useful to anything. There's a runner and a thick metal bar. Yeah, that's it. On the backrest is 40-20-40. It's good, practical. Cup holders and the V-shape holder for your mobile phone. The floor mat. Rubber on this side, textile on this side. You can use it however you like. So you can turn it around. Easier to clean. This is Dacia logo here.
Okay, you get more trunk space, but that's obvious, it's a bigger car. What else is worth to mention?
Let's talk about powertrain. There's a new full hybrid system you cannot get with the Duster. And despite the fact it comes with 3 motors, you will not get it as a 4x4. Does that make sense to you? Well, I thought about it, and Dacia could be right. But before I go to that, let me give you some details. First, there's the workhorse. 1.8 liter engine, inline 4, naturally aspirated, gasoline, 107 horsepower and 179 or thereabout Newton meters of torque. Second, an electric motor coming from the mild hybrid, which is in the gearbox, acts like a starter generator and supplements the workhorse when accelerating. Third, another electric motor, more powerful this time, 50 horsepower, driving again the front axle. That can take this vehicle in E mode alone, so only electric. Simple, right?
This is big news in my opinion, especially when coming from a brand which has no focus on being innovative. That's actually the one I'm looking for driving for you on the Bigster, but until then, let's see what else is out there.
And then, there's the configuration I have right here. This is the least powerful mild hybrid system. It's the 130 horsepower 1.2 liter engine. Ooh, gas struts. That's nice. As I was saying, this is a 1.2 liter engine, turbocharged, 3 cylinder, which is coupled to an electric motor 48 volts, total amount of power 130, and this is driving the 4x4.
The third is again one you find on the Duster. It's the same mild hybrid engine as on the 4x4, only that it's driving just the front wheels, which makes it gain 10 additional horsepower because of that, meaning you have in total 140 horsepower.
Now, coming back to my previous question, why didn't Dacia give us the 4x4 with a more powerful full hybrid system? To get that answer, you need to answer another question at first. What do you value the most when you go off-road and try to get out of mud? Efficiency or reliability? You see, that's what Dacia opted for. They valued most to be reliable. Because you have to remember, this car, unlike your regular recreational SUV, this is a very capable off-roader, and Dacia wants to keep that.
Not to say the full hybrid is not reliable, but that would have meant to introduce a new configuration for something which is already existing. The current 4x4 powertrain has proved to be capable and reliable even for the enthusiastic explorer.
And if you agree with what I'm saying, make sure you give a like or add a comment.
That being said, does everything I mentioned so far help in any way the Bigster be a more refined car than the Duster?
It could be, but let's talk about interior space. Because interior space adds to the overall, refinement of the car. I already mentioned, wheelbase is 5 cm longer, and you can see that you get more space. In the front row, in the second row, I'm 175 cm long. I got tons of space. I feel comfortable here. Not only that, I also expect the ride is more comfortable. Pitch amplitude is lower, but I guess we'll get to see that when I drive the car. Front space is a similar like Duster experience, I guess. So the support for the right elbow and left elbow are not at the same level, and this is not adjustable. But yeah, soft touch material. I guess where you put your hands the most, so steering wheel, this armrest, this surface here with the window controls and mirror, and yeah, those are soft touch. Other than that, yeah, that's alright.
Another thing which helps improve the interior of this car in particular is the sunroof. It extends quite far into the back and comes together with an electrically operated shade. I know more expensive brands not offering that even as an option.
One other thing I want to mention, and I guess this is nothing different from the Duster, the door cards are plastic, all around. And I like it, maybe that's me, especially for that. Bottom end, yeah, it's easy to live with. Scratches, dirt, don't care about it. Actually, I don't wash it that much. And again, I don't know about you. Me, I see this car as a tool. It should serve me, not me serving it. Less difficult to live with. Does it make sense? Front door sound. This sounds better.
Okay, if despite all the new features it comes with, you are still not convinced the Bigster is a more refined car, let's see how it drives.
I'm not a big fan of the 3-cylinder engines. I mean, you knock one cylinder out, slap a turbine to compensate for the loss of power, and the result, it's not smooth. I cannot drive it smooth, especially with the low gear ratio in the first and second. Maybe eventually I will succeed, but it's hard work, Yeah, see? Tell you one other thing I like. So let's say you drive for some time and you need to make a quick stop. Okay, to do something, I don't know. Remove the seat belt, power braking gauges, do your stuff, come back. And again, power brake releases, drive away, all good. Same thing if you only open the door. Power braking gauges, very good. So it helps you keep safe. It's less of a problem with combustion engine, because combustion engine, you can hear the sound, you know what the engine is doing, and you know if this is in drive or not. But the car also pulls the handbrake for you, so you're totally safe. That's good, that's really good. You know what, enough with this. This is not the engine I want to review. I want to review the hybrid. But if you'd like to know if this engine works with the Bigster, of course it does. And I guess in a similar way as with the Duster. I mean, it pulls. It will not blow your mind as being very quick, but it will do its job. So that being said, let's go on the hybrid. So now we're in the hybrid. How can you tell? Well, it's the only one coming with automatic gearbox. And as I said, you get 3 motors, 2 electric, 1 combustion, and all play their game on the front axle. And although it's interesting to see how Dacia implemented this interplay, this is another point of this video. What I want to tell you is if this powertrain is more refined and more smooth than the other options. Short answer, yes. But let's see details. Yeah, the gearbox being an automatic definitely helps out. This one doesn't have a manual mode, not even a park mode. But don't worry about it. I think everybody does the same thing these days. I have the 3 speed bumps coming up in front of me. Let's see how it handles them. There's no delay in power delivery and picking up again. You slow down. When you slow down, the battery charges. That's a benefit. Then when you pick up again, you don't feel anything. No shakes, no bumps, no rattles. Yeah, I think that's well understood. But the other interesting point is after we go over the last speed bump, when you want to pick up speed, do you have a delay, a lag? No?
Okay, maybe not this time, but that depends whether the combustion engine is already running or not. In case not, it takes a bit of time until it wakes up, and then you'll notice a bit of a delay. But I guess that's how any hybrid system works. However, the initial pick from the electric motor is good, and here you have nothing to complain about.
I think Dacia has done a good job here, considering you have 3 motors fighting over the same front axle. Yeah, it's good.
And to answer if the Bigster is a more refined car, maybe. Had Dacia made the engine of a full hybrid run more silent, basically soundproofing it, that would have made it more refined. Instead, they decided to do the other way around, and made the electric motor artificially sound like the combustion engine. Just listen to it. Well, now it's clear. Dacia's intention is to keep everything that's already good, same as on the Duster. Improve only things that really matter, basically the space and practicality, and drop a couple of more features just to make sure the entire family is happy. And all that for a price that makes it very appealing. Less than $29,500, everything included. Yeah, even adaptive cruise control.